Hi guys, I'm doing an update to my medium size rose. The medium size rose has four template sizes, which include the center, which we need 8 petals, and then there's petal 1, which we will need 4 petals, and petal 2, which we will need 12 petals, and petal 3, which will need 8 petals or 8 pieces. Okay, so now what I will do is just get 4 of my center petals and put them all together. Add glue and create a bow. Same to the other one. Add glue and create a bow. So we've got 2 pieces. Now we're going to make it into a 1 piece so we can create the center. So position it in the middle, as you can see. Now what's very important, I just want to the spaces between each petal should be identical. So when you put them in position of being identical, then you can just glue them. Glue them together. So that's right. So now our cross is ready. I've actually made 2 of them, and I've used all the 8 petals. So what we're going to do now is just get my ruler and crease them, pulling them towards myself like that. Make a crease right at the end of the petal. Okay, like that. So while we're doing that, creasing that, I want to show you that we are creating a square right at the back. So when we do put the 2 pieces together, they will equally look alike. Okay, so we're going to use our bottom piece from here, these 2. We're going to squeeze them like that and put them together. I like a closed bud. You can leave it a little bit open if you like the open buds, but I like the one that it's enclosed. So once again, and hug. Okay, so now we're going to add glue. Glue. Okay, and then add and the other side. I also want to mention that both opposite sides should always be identical to each other till you're building the rose. So there we go, that's our square at the back. So we're going to put our next petals on the center. So I'm going to position it right in the middle here. As you can see, just want to try it out. They're all perfectly aligned. So now we're going to do where we last finished, always on that side. I'm going to pick up that and bring it towards the center. So glue, glue, and as I said, I really like the opposite sides to be identical. And now do these ones, the last ones on. And again, and doing the opposite. And matching the distance from across. So now we've finished with our rosebud. Just going to put that aside. Now we're going to go from our petal size number 1, which we use only 4 petals. So we're going to curl them with a hot glue gun stick, and we're just going to curl them at the tip, at the top, like that, and the other side. Also, I want to point out here the curls that are done on both sides should be equal on both sides, because if you do one lower curl and one higher, the rose petals will not look nice. So try to make identical curls on both sides. So now we have the first ones going in. Alright, so there you go, that's 4 of them. I'm going to make creases. Again, pulling it towards me and making a crease. Okay, like that. So all 4 of them have got creases now. So now what we're going to do is just where we last finished that, we're going to add a petal. I'm just going to add glue again and position that right there, and then one across. So now what we want to do here is just want to crease that and bring it to the rosebud. So I'm going to add glue and add it to the bud. Okay, I'm going to do that the opposite sides here, trying to keep the distances identical on each opposite side. Okay, so that's ready. So now we're going to put towards these sides. And opposite. Also, I want to mention now an explanation for some of the rose terms or the rose things that. So now we've created walls where the next petal is going to go. So when we add glue to one side and the other, that wall is going to just be there for the petal to be glued on, and also the opposite. There's no way to go, it's just right there. Just my glue stick. Okay. And again, as I said, I'm just going to push it towards that wall and it will close. So we finished with our first petal of 4 petals. Just going to put that aside. Now we're going to go to our next petals, which are petal number 2. And in petal number 2 we have 12 pieces. So first we're going to use 4. Okay. We're going to round them up again. Using glue stick. They're a bit wider from the previous. Petals are wider, and as I mentioned before, I like that to be equal on both sides or identical on both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen the paper a little bit. Just going to give me just a little bit of a loosening of the paper. And I'm also going to crease them. Together. And creating that extra. So the creasing is more for people that are beginners on the roses, on the flower roses. So that's where it will show you where to take your petal up to, like that. So I'm going to add glue to this petal and add it, of course, to where we last finished and create that. And the opposite side. Additional. As you can see now, that's so now again we have that crease, and then we take the petal to those walls. So there's that wall and that wall, so the petal goes straight in like that. I'm going to add glue here. Always try out your petals, and there you go. Let's just go straight in. Okay, and do the opposite side. Again, we have that stopping here because it won't go any further. It's just going to go straight to those walls. So you don't have to do any measurements because they actually do go to that door. As you can see, a nice clean cut here. Alright, so just now we're going to put these ones on the opposite side. Alright, so that's one and the other one across, like that. And glue. Again, I'm going to repeat, just, oh, it was a bit hot. Just stick it to that wall there. Okay, so that's even. This one just goes straight to the wall. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue here and here, and so that's where they will be going. They're not going any less than any further, or because that's already pre-made. So as you can see now, and that's the clean cut that you will have underneath. So now we're going to start opening the rose. You can, if you want to, go one more around, which I think we'll do that first. We'll go one more around. So we've got 4 here. And again making them both the same. Sewn up and then start making creases on it. Alright, so we've got the creases ready. So you've got two options here. You can either continue with this. So I think I'm going to continue just adding them like that, and then we'll start opening the rows. So this is going to, of course, go where we last pieces, and opposite. I want to see if I can see everything. Okay, because I do get carried away sometimes, just not looking up to see where I'm up to. Okay, so now again we've got those stable walls here which we can glue the petal. Alright, going there and adding it to the wall. Just even the opposite side. So as you can see, I really like this template because it's a smaller center, then it sort of like rises and it creates that 3D effect of the rose when you hang it on the wall. It does have a very beautiful 3D effect. So I'm just going to add the other two. Okay, and add this to the wall. As you can see now we've got three, and I really like that. It does create the rose to be beautiful. You can. So now we're going to add our So there you go, that's created a beautiful centre bud and continuing of blooming of the rose. Now we want to open up the rose. So when you open it up, it goes a bit bigger. So I'm going to start now with my last 4 petals from petal number 2. So it's that one, and then my last ones. So I'm going to actually curl them again. And curl them again. Okay, like that. So these ones now, I'll also crease them, create a crease here, and this side too. So these are the last 4 petals from the second petal, as we said. So now to open up the rose, we will need, as you can see, these 4 corners, so we can add petals towards them. So why I create that crease, to give you an idea of where to position your petal. So now these 4 will be covered with these 4 petals. So I'm just going to add glue in the middle, not through all petals because I don't need it. And going to pick up that corner and place it right in the middle of this petal. So the corner is placed, just want to show you that part. The corner is placed right in the middle of this petal, and the crease is just right there. So now we will start sticking that to the rose, but I want to show you another way that we can do that. I'll just add, so now just going to add the other side too, adding glue just in the middle and positioning it, that corner right in the middle of this petal. So now we want to start opening the rose, which is going to give us an option to do that here on the last petal of this size. So I'm creating sort of like a corner here, right there. As you can see, I'm sort of creating like a V. That's where the corner is, that's where that part is, and you're creating that V. So by creating that V, when I lift it, my petal will straightly lift itself up and go towards these walls. So this is the wall and that one. So I'm going to add glue and pinch these two here where we've created a pinch effect and bring it to those walls. Okay, just going to hold on to this one now. I hope you're seeing all of that. No. So now on the opposite side, we're going to create the same pinch as we previously did on the side, and we're going to lift that petal too, making it identical to this petal. So pinch, and there you go. So we're going to add glue and glue. So we're pinching those two so they can sort of go like that, and then we're going to add the petal to one side of the wall and the other side of the wall. I'm going to put it this way to glue it. So as you can see now, these two sides are identical. Now we've got these two left. Again, okay, glue in the middle, and I'm going to add that right in the middle of this petal, right where the corner will go, right in the middle of, right up to that crease that we've created. So now again, we will hold these ones and pinch them and bring them to the walls. So glue here and glue here, and pinch bottom and bring them to those walls that we've created. Again, so now in the opposite side, put glue in the middle. Okay, again, the edge to the crease part, turn it around, crease it, and bring it up. Crease it, pinch it in a way, and bring it up to those walls. Add glue at the same position as you did on the opposite. So what I'll just I'm going to press the glue to dry up. So now what we've created here is opening of the rose. So these pockets are opening actually the rose. Now they're opening the rose, and we've got identical sides. Oh, sorry. So we've created the creases at the back here, and we've created that the rose should look something like that. Adding these 4 petals and opening it up. So I also wanted to mention one more thing, but I've probably forgotten about it. It's all right. So I'm just going to put this aside. Now, the third petal that we have 8 pieces, we're going to start using that one. So there is 8 pieces. First we're going to use 4 pieces. Now with this ones, I'm going to try to create 2. First we're going to roll the sides and this side. Made them identical on both sides. I'm going to move the paper just a little bit. Okay, so now we've got 4 of these pieces. Okay, so those 4 pieces will become in the middle here to fill up these gaps. So I'm going to crease them again. So that's going to be an easier way for you to do this rose. The crease is always showing you where to stop. And now we want to fill up these gaps that we've got here. We want to add the petals right here and fill out the space that we have here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn this around like that, and I'm going to add glue again in the middle and position each petal like this. And opposite, glue in the middle. You don't have to do the whole, and position that right opposite the other side. As you can see now, we have these 2 that are filling up these gaps. So lift it a little bit, and now, as you can see, that's in the middle here. So I'm going to add glue here and here, and I'm going to hold on to this and sort of like add again to the walls that we've created from the previous. So they're the walls. On this side, one is here and one is here. That pocket walls that we've empty spaces. So that's where the petals should go. Again, here. I hope you can see this because I'm really struggling to hold on to this. Alright, so now as you can see, this rose is sort of going that way. Okay, now we're going to put our other 2 petals here and here. Again, just adding that right there and opposite. Okay. And try to, now the walls are here, so that's where we have to glue our petal. And there. Creating So now as you can see, we've added, so now this rose is sort of like square. So to round up the rose, we need to put extra petals on it. So I'm just going to put this aside. Again, round them up. Also we'll crease them. Now these petals will round up the rose. Now to round up the rose, you will need to put them in between these spaces, but adding that and making it equal with the edges here will round up the rose. So I'm going to try to just add glue, position it, as you can see, to cover that. Now I want to equally position them the same so we can round up the rose. Just go across and position that one too. This one's a bit long. I think I should just put it a bit higher. So add glue and adjust it here. So that will just be as long as that one. So now add all 4 of them and show you. So these are our last 4 petals. So we're adding that right here. And this one. Right. So they're all sort of. I'm just trying to make, when I put it down I measure it. So as you can see now, these ones are going to be lifted and they're going to create the rose to go in. So what we do with these ones, I start with the bottom one. So we add glue here and just drop it without a curve or anything, just a normal soft alright, glue here and here, and just drop it like that. You don't need to squeeze you don't need to squeeze and do that, no, just a normal drop, just a very soft. There you go, like that. And the opposite side, just so there you go. The rose is rounded when we added the last row of petals. So I hope you like this tutorial. Please write to me if you need any help about the roses. I hope I tried to explain more important parts for the rose. I also want to mention I've gone to measure it now. The measurements should be around, so that's a 12-inch, that's a 14 to 15 inch rose, I'd say. It depends of the 14 to 15 inch. For me, this is a medium-sized rose. And then we have also templates for the large rose, the small rose, mini rose. They're all in PDF files. So I hope you like this tutorial. Thank you. Bye.